This is part 2. Go watch part 1 first. Here's the criteria. Let's go. Oh! And here we have it. Robin and Lucina's trailer. And at the time, you know, I wasn't really into Fire Emblem. Didn't really know much about the characters. But I still thought the trailer was kind of cool. But now that I'm rewatching these with context, it's a pretty good trailer. I'm not gonna lie. Lucina is the one that's revealed here. It shows Chrom on the ground, and a lot of people thought if they're gonna add a Fire Emblem representation, it was gonna be Chrom because he's the main lord of the game that came out on the 3DS. But no, here's Lucina taking his place in Sid, and everybody's like, it's not Chrom. Chrom's gonna get back up, right? And then of course the touch of Captain Falcon being the one that kicked Chrom's ass, and then Lucina's trying to defend him. That's great. And then here we get Robin coming out of nowhere. When I first watched this, I had no idea who he was, but now that I have the context, that just looks great. The CG looks great. I like that they're fighting an Arena Ferox, right? That's great, but my goodness, everything after that, I think is just fantastic, you know? Like, this trailer is great. It's the first Fire Emblem character that is not a lord, alright? Ike being the exception because he does eventually become a lord, but it's the first Fire Emblem character that doesn't use just swords either. So it's like, it's completely different, and I like how this trailer kind of showcases the correlation between him being from Fire Emblem and him being in Smash Brothers, because his moveset revolves around not being able to completely spam his spells because of weapon durability, which is something that exists in Fire Emblem that they're finally translating in Super Smash Brothers. I thought they do a good job. And then of course Lucina isn't left behind. It's revealed that she is, for better or for worse, you know, a clone of Marth. Still plays not that differently, but just removes the tipper and all that. And then I like how when it shows Marth and Ike, they don't call them, look, it's Marth and Ike. They refer to them by their titles, the Hero King and the Radiant Hero of Legend. That just puts a smile on my face, especially now that I have taken the time to appreciate the Fire Emblem series. It's great. This trailer is just so much fun. And the ending where it's like, oh, Chrom's all like, oh, I guess I'll get my chance another time. And then it shows him being a part of the Final Smash, and then of course showing off that you could play as female Robin too, and that made me realize that, oh, this is that Avatar character. I thought Robin was an actual character, but I didn't realize he was that Avatar character when I first watched this trailer. It's like, oh, that's cool. You can play as both male and female Robin. That's awesome. This trailer's just fun. It's really fun. I would give this a B, but now that I've taken the time to appreciate Fire Emblem as a whole, I got to play Awakening. Now I know these characters a little more. I got to play other games in this franchise. It's great. It's really fun looking back at these trailers, especially after all these years, after like time has passed, and maybe you've gotten to go check out some of these games because they're in Smash. Like, this is a really fun trailer. Like, there's not much I can say. I'm gonna give it an A. I think my bias pushes it enough to be an A. And speaking of bias and characters you know nothing about until they make it to Smash and then playing their games, look who we have next. I've rewritten and re-recorded Shulk's section about 15 times now, so this is honestly the reason why this video got pushed back by a week. I want to get this out of the way first. There's one thing that bothers me about this trailer, and that's just the fact that Shulk says, now it's Shulk time. Shulk has never said, now it's Shulk time. In fact, all of Shulk's lines are reused from the game. There is not a single bit of newly recorded audio in this trailer. The same goes for the Japanese trailer, actually, but at least in the Japanese trailer, Shulk says things that Shulk would actually say. But other than that, this trailer is fantastic. Now that I've gotten the chance to play Xenoblade Chronicles, looking back on this trailer, there are so many things that I didn't even notice. Shulk opens the trailer by using Shadow Eye to avoid Bowser. That's amazing attention to detail. And by far my favorite shot of this trailer is when they start showing off what the Monado arts do, and that's just amazing. Although they are made up for Smash, I think that was a really cool way to show it off. It just goes art after art after art after art, and I just love how it just shows what each art will do when you use them. It's great. It's fantastic. It's honestly a short trailer, but it's still sweet, and it got a lot of things really well, except for the reused lines. That is my only nitpick. So at the end of the day, I was gonna give Shulk a C, But after talking it over with my friends and honestly coming to appreciate the other details that they added to this trailer, if it just weren't for the reused lines, this trailer could have got a little higher, but I'm gonna let it settle at a B. Alright, is that good? Because I seriously don't want to re-record this thing like a 17th time, man. Can we move on? Yo, can we move on? We can, yeah. Okay, let's move on. Man, Bowser Jr.'s trailer was pretty good. To get started, yes, it kind of shows Bowser Jr. immediately, but there's still an air of mystery as the camera's focused more on the Koopa cart rather than Bowser Jr. himself. It does this so that it can show the many abilities while keeping the pilot in the shadows. And the Koopa cart is just kicking ass this whole time. It's really giving Mario a run for his money here. It just goes one ability after the other, and then boom, Bowser Jr. clowns the competition. A great short build-up for the reveal. And then from there, the gameplay, of course, it does a good enough of a job showing off what Bowser Jr. does, what he'll be doing, and the specials and all. It just does a really pretty good job. Really pretty loud, that's redundant. Still, a really good job at showcasing Bowser Jr. And then the reveal of the Koopalings being Bowser Jr.'s alternate costumes. I think that is by far one of the coolest shots that we have seen, at least in the CGI portions of these trailers, because wow, that was a fantastic shot. And then it goes into showcasing 8-player Smash, which during the 50 fact extravaganza, they revealed that in the Wii U version, you can play up to 8 players. It's great. It's honestly really good. But my only issue with this trailer is that as a reveal, yes, it's good, but it doesn't help that we already knew Bowser Jr. was gonna be in the game because the game had already been out, at least on the 3DS. The reveal of 8-player Smash was new, but we already knew officially Bowser Jr. was in the game if you played Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS. And I'll be honest, it kind of takes away from the purpose of being a reveal trailer if the game was already out and the character was already in the game. So because of this, I'm actually going to knock it down a tier. I really do like the shot of Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings. I think that shot alone gives this trailer an A. But because as a reveal trailer, it fails in the reveal department, being as we already knew officially that they were in the game because of the 3DS version being out, I think that I'm going to knock it down to B tier. Still a very good trailer. I really like it. But you know, we already knew Bowser Jr. was in the game, so just gotta knock it down just a bit, you know, just a bit. Still a really good trailer.
Time for a special announcement.
I don't even know if I should even include this here. It's not technically a trailer, but it is a reveal. I think for the sake of the trailer that we're getting later on, this is more of an announcement than a reveal trailer. I still wanted to include it because, let's be real, it was hype as hell to find out that we were gonna get DLC for this game, and finding out that the first DLC we were gonna get was Mewtwo. That was great. Like, it was a really, really great little way to reveal that Mewtwo was coming to the game later. Just gonna throw it out there. It's here. I'm not gonna put it on there. It just does its job as a reveal, but it's not a trailer. So for that, I'm just gonna leave it off the board. But it's still really hype. Anyways, moving on. And here we are, the final base game reveal trailer. And it has the same issue with I have with Bowser Jr. as we already knew Duck Hunt was gonna be in the game because the game has already been out. Hell, if I remember correctly, the Duck Hunt trailer came out after the Wii U version came out, so there really was no reason to have this other than just to have it so that every new character from Smash Bros. For DS and Wii U would have a reveal trailer of sorts. And for a reveal trailer, I think that it's good, but it doesn't really do anything else for me. If anything, I really like how it starts off with the pixel art, the whole Duck Hunt thing, and then you see Mario and when all the other 8-bit characters from the NES era come out and be like, hey, I'm gonna kick your ass. And then it transitions from the pixel art to the CG, and it's like, that's a really cool shot. And I also really like that they kind of showcase the Zapper being a part of the moveset. That's also really a nice touch. But other than that, it's a trailer that just kind of does what it does what it needs to do, and then, yeah, doesn't really help by the fact that it was already out. Like, the game's already been out, and like only now we're getting this reveal. But at the same time, it's alright. I would give this trailer a C because I really do like the pixel art transitioning into the CG, and then I like how they incorporated showing the Zapper as part of their moveset. But, you know, the same issue I have with Bowser Jr. is that this was late. I really wish that they had this before the game came out. So, you know, D for Duck Hunt. So, based off of how I ranked Bowser Jr. and Duck Hunt, you might be thinking that I'll demote Mewtwo too. Mewtwo too. That does not... Mewtwo also. But I won't. Though we knew that Mewtwo was coming in the game already. Oh god. Although we knew that Mewtwo was on the way, we still didn't have them in the game, and they could have honestly changed up how they played from Melee. So honestly, I think that this trailer does a good job at showcasing Mewtwo's return and Mewtwo, like all the difference that they had with Mewtwo, which, if I am to be correct by what I know, they didn't really change much with Mewtwo other than, hey, look at the new Final Smash, right? That's basically it. It just, you know, it's a solid trailer. It's short, sweet, does its job, does what it needs to. But I will say that I like the fact that they reference the first movie in the tagline. Like, that is quite literally the perfect tagline that they have used for any of these Smash Brothers trailers. It's like perfect. It's way too perfect. You know, it does its job, but I still very much like it. I'm gonna give it a C. And this was the trailer to let us know that we were getting way more characters after Mewtwo. It was honestly really great. Lucas's trailer was pretty solid. It's short and sweet. It also is just there to let us know that Lucas is coming back. I like how it has Ness getting beat up in the beginning, then Lucas comes in to save him. A little parallel between how it was in the Subspace Emissary, and I also like that they kind of changed Lucas's expression to make him look more confident. Because if you've ever played Mother 3, you know that Lucas is a sad, sad boy. And my goodness, this one shot in the trailer, like I said, if you ever played Mother 3, man, god, I'm tearing up already, shit. A solid trailer. I also give this a C. Before I continue, there is an elephant in the room that I probably should address, and of course, that elephant is the major leak for both Roy and Ryu. To make a long story short, if you hack the game, you could actually play as both Roy and Ryu well before they were even announced for the game, and by that logic, you would think that I would also demote the reveal trailers, but I want to think of it this way, right? For Duck Hunt and Bowser Jr., they were already officially released, and we already knew of their existence in the game officially. But with these leaks, yes, they were already in the game, but you had to go out of your way to data mine the data that allowed you to play as them. They weren't officially in the game. This is also why I didn't take the previous big leak into consideration when talking about Shulk, because before Shulk was revealed, there was a major leak that showcased the entire roster for the Smash Brothers 3DS game that also had Duck Hunt and Bowser Jr. It was just a major leak, and I didn't want to take that in consideration because it wasn't an official reveal. It was just a leak. Take a look at it this way, right? If you manage to avoid every single leak and watch these trailers while still playing the game when it's available, you would have known that Bowser Jr. was in the game by playing the 3DS version, and you would have known that Duck Hunt was in the game by playing the 3DS version, but you wouldn't have known that Shulk was in the game because the game wasn't out yet and you avoided that leak. It still would have been a surprise. Same thing with Roy and Ryu. If you managed to avoid the internet and the major leaks, you wouldn't have known that Roy would be returning and Ryu was going to be added into the game. So I really don't want to take leaks into consideration when ranking these reveal trailer. This will also take into effect with Smash Ultimate when I talk about Banjo, when I talk about Hero going when I talk about Terry, because they were also technically kinda leaked or teased by outside sources, but it was never anything official. I want to rank these reveal trailers based off official releases, and once again, for Duck Hunt and Bowser Jr., they were already officially released, while for Roy and Ryu, they were not. You just had to hack the game and you found out that they were in the game and playable, but if you managed to avoid that, it still would have been a surprise. And if you don't agree with how I'm de-ranking some of these trailers, then by all means, you can bump Bowser Jr. back to an A, and you can bump Duck Hunt back to a C. But I just really don't think it would be fair to these trailers if I were to incorporate something that was out of their control. So with that being said, let's move on. In all honesty, each of these returning DLC fighters should be a D. Like I said, you know, a D trailer just does its job and then that's it, which is kind of what these trailers do. But there's something about each trailer that makes me want to put them a tier higher. For Mewtwo, it's the fact that they put Mewtwo Strikes Back as their tagline. For Lucas, it was that one shot where Lucas reunites with his brother. I'm still crying. And for Roy, it was the moment he walked up to Roy Koopaling and told him to fuck off. I'm the only Roy here, bitch. Other than that, Roy's trailer is pretty good. It does what it needs to do, and it does it pretty well. I will say that now that I have a better connection to Fire Emblem, rewatching these old trailers just kind of puts a big old smile on my face. And I really like how they show off Roy's new Final Smash. It's just great. I just really like it. I want to give it a C, just like all the other returning trailers, but I might bump it up to a B. I'm gonna leave it at a C for now, but who knows? I might bump it up. I might keep it at a C. We'll see how we feel at the end of this whole journey. Let's move on. And here we have Ryu from Streets. And it's about this time where we realize that we won't be getting any more CG trailers, but still, Ryu's trailer is pretty good. Now, Ryu was revealed instantly, but it kind of works in its favor because it's a neat reference to the opening of Super Street Fighter 2. It's another short trailer, and it is our first new character in the DLC lineup, but I still think it's a really good trailer. Like I said, I like how the opening is a neat little reference to Super Street Fighter 2's opening, and I also like that Ryu's voice actor actually does a bit of voice work during the trailer. It's actually really cool. A short trailer, but a really strong one. I'm gonna give it a B. And here we are, Cloud's trailer. You know, Cloud's trailer is something special, you know? I guess, to make a long story short, a teacher of mine's grew up with Final Fantasy games, and I would talk to him about it a lot. And eventually this would lead me into trying out Final Fantasy VII for the first time. And, well, Final Fantasy VII was his favorite game. And shortly after I played Final Fantasy VII, the remake got announced, and I got to talk to him about it, and it was really fun. We got to talk about how great the trailer looked and just how excited he was. And, well, when Cloud got announced for Smash, it just gave us a lot more to talk about, and I'll never forget the day that I saw it. You know, the direct happened during class. It was English class, I remember that. And we weren't doing much that period, so I kind of had my phone out with my headphones in, just secretly watching the trail, like all the new trailers and stuff. And by the time we were released to go into lunch, the direct was about to end, and it just started immediately. This is the first trailer where we didn't get to see the cross and the flames. It just immediately went in, and because it did that, I got faked out. I recognized the Final Fantasy VII opening and the music. And I thought because of the recent announcement of the remake that this could have possibly been an announcement for the remake coming to the Wii U, which sounds really silly considering, wow, that game would not fit on the Wii U. It barely fits on the PS4, dang. But it could have also been the fact that Final Fantasy VII would be coming to a Nintendo console, the original Final Fantasy VII. It's like, cool, some more things to talk about with my teacher, and it wasn't either of those. because while everybody else was kind of waiting for the reveal, I already knew it had something to do with Final Fantasy VII, and I just lost my shit when I saw the Smash Brothers logo, and I ran immediately to the band room where I could meet up with my friends and talk about it, and just, wow. Like, I saw the whole trailer, we rewatched it in the band room, and it's like, we had no idea what we were looking at because, my goodness, Cloud was in Super Smash Bros. 4. And all I have to say is that me experiencing it the way that I did is already making this trailer an S tier for me. But there's still more to talk about because the references made in the gameplay. This trailer really didn't need CG because they did so much with the references in game. Like, there's so many things that I caught that I probably wouldn't have understood if I didn't get to play Final Fantasy VII, which at the time was very recently, so I understood every single reference. From the thing with Cloud and Aerith in the chapel to, you know, Cloud taking Wario's motorcycle, and of course the very end where Cloud unleashes his final smash against Ike. That was just, it was great. It's such a great trailer. There's really not much more I can say about this. On its own, it's already an S tier trailer, but that on top of the experience that I've had with Final Fantasy VII, being able to talk about all these sudden Final Fantasy VII news with my teacher who got me into playing the game, it has much more relevance and impact of my life, you know? This trailer, not only is it great, but it had a huge relevance and impact on my life at the time, which is why this trailer earns our first double S tier. It's truly magnificent. I really don't know what else to say, but this was truly an amazing reveal, and I could never forget how I felt the day it got revealed. It's just amazing. I really don't know what else to say.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I feel like I have no choice but to... join Smash!
Oh, jeez.
What are you doing, step bro?
I honestly don't have much to say for this trailer. You know, I did say that I have a better connection to Fire Emblem now more than I did like years ago, but I don't exactly like Fates, I'm not gonna lie. But what I do like is the fact that it opens up with the whole split paths cutscene, the part of the game where you have to decide, do you want to fight with your birth family or fight with your adopted family or find your own way, you know, the choice is yours. And instead of ending the conflict between both of his homes, right? Instead of finding a way to bring both of his families together, Corrin, in all his divine judgment, decides to fuck shit up and smash. What the fuck am I looking at, man? Like, the trailer's fine. It's completely serviceable. It doesn't really do that much other than the opening, but like, I have some sort of ironic enjoyment about this trailer. By all means, this trailer is a D, but I'm not going to lie and say that my ironic enjoyment of this trailer kind of pushes it towards a C. I'll leave it at a D for now, a high D, but my goodness, they even had that stupid line about the Outrealms. I don't know why, but that just makes me laugh out loud. And Robin and Lucina's trailer, they have respect for each and every other fighter in the game. Like here, it's just, are those warriors of the Outrealm? Oh my god. What the fuck am I looking at, man? It's funny. It's funny. There. That's the only reason why I kinda like this trailer, is just because it's funny, alright? Let's move on, please. Oh my god.
Oh, another angel. Must have missed one.
And here we have it, the final Smash Bros. 4 trailer. And it's also the character that broke the fucking game. And I'm gonna be honest, it's an alright trailer. I like how it opens up with Pit and Palutena. And I don't know much about Bayonetta, but I do know something. Her, angels, and gods don't really go well with each other. And I don't really get much out of this trailer. It's alright. It's good. Like I said, I like how it opens up with Pit and Palutena. And how Palutena just kind of narrates throughout the whole trailer. Dark Pit shows up, tells Pit to not be a pansy, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have much to say about this trailer. I kind of want to give it a C, but I don't think it deserves to be in a C. If anything, I'm gonna put it at a B for Bayonetta. Yeah, that sounds about right. I am sorry. I just don't have that much to say. And just like that, that's the end of Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U. And I gotta say, looking back at some of these trailers, they were really good. Some of them not so much, some of them, yeah, they were pretty good. And here's what the tier list is looking like now. Of course, I might be moving things around as I go through and look through the rest of these trailers, but at least for now, I think it looks pretty good. Other than that, yeah, this is the end of the trailers for Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U, and yeah, it was I gotta say, like, some of these trailers are really fun. Next time, we'll be taking a look at all the trailers for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So, if you don't want to miss out, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I am making it a personal goal to finally hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year. I'd really appreciate the support. Anyways, I've been MichaelBlaze17, and I still can't do outros. So, I'll see you guys next time. Just fucking roll it.